chapter 0 to the 0th power, embrace the paradoxes. Yes, embrace the paradoxes. Yes, they are paradoxes, not contradictions. What do you mean paradoxes and contradictions are synonymous? Well, that's because paradoxes happen when two contradictory conclusions are both true and both false simultaneously. But contradictions are when two statements are claimed to both be true, but only one or neither of them can be true at the same time. I am on the tectonic continent of Asia, and I am on the tectonic continent of South America, are contradictory statements. Only one of these statements can be true at the same time in reality. A solution to the contradiction is that one or both of the premises are incorrect. Sometimes contradictions can also have an additional hidden premise that can make these statements not contradictory, like I edited these two statements to play at the same time in a video, like this. I am on the tectonic continent of South America.
I am on the tectonic continent of South America. I am on the tectonic continent of South America.
This sentence is false. This sentence is a paradox because the sentence is both true and false, and neither true and false. Nothing can solve this paradox. Praise Zilch for helping us resolve the paradox. So since true things are given the value of 1 and false things are given the value of 0, we can just leave a 0 to the 0th power next to the paradoxical statement and consider the matter resolved. Of course, that would mean that we can say that the sentence is false because it is actually 0 to the 0th power, which would mean that we can say that the sentence is true, which is why we should best simply leave the solution to the paradox in Zilch's hands as Zilch. So no, a paradox is not a contradiction. Let's revisit the paradox of existence given at the end of chapter 2, but put in a more concise form while also using dimensionalism terminology that we have discovered thus far. Premise 1, I exist. Well, that was easy. Premise 2, if I exist, I am somewhere within the set of everything that exists. These premises are inseparable, but since we ourselves are within the set of everything that exists, this begs the question of where did everything that exists come from? Premise 3, the answer to the question where does everything that exists come from must be nothing, zilch, and nada, because to name anything else would be to name something that is also within the set of everything that exists. Conclusion 1, if I ultimately come from nothing, then I am also nothing, because nothing comes from nothing. Conclusion 2, if I am null, it can be likewise deduced that in some manner of speaking, I am outside the set of everything that exists, just like zilch and nada. Conclusion 3, if I am outside the set of everything that exists, I must be within the set of everything that does not exist. Conclusion 4, I think, therefore, I am not. I do not exist. Ooh. Conclusion 5. Conclusion 4 and premise 1 perfectly and paradoxically contradict each other. So I must exist in an indeterminate state of existence. I admit that there is a big common assumption that arises from asserting that conclusion 1 is derived from the premises. There is an additional premise that something cannot come from nothing. There are two ways to resolve this paradox of existence. One can either conclude that the universe is eternal, so everything was caused by no thing, or deny the premise that nothing comes from nothing, and instead presuppose that something can come from nothing, so everything has been and will be caused by nothing. Was everything caused by no thing, nothing, or something else? That is the paradox that should be embraced by all, for the conclusion is truly indeterminate. So if we change our mind and presuppose that something can come from nothing, we can once again be sound in the assertion of, I think, therefore, I am. And now, back to your regularly scheduled chapter programming.